from WBAY TV. Coverage you can count on. Action 2 News at 6 starts now.
It's such a huge head start. I mean, for us to be able to, for the first time in Brown County's history, to go out and proactively look at our roads from a safety perspective, that is huge.
From rumble strips to more signs and wider roads, changes are in the works to make driving at Brown County highways less dangerous. Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. The improvements come in a long-awaited and first-of-its-kind study using crash data to pinpoint problem areas on rural roads in Brown County.
We first told you about this last summer in a Target 2 investigation where we found that rumble strips had been removed at an intersection in southern Brown County where 2 people were killed in July. While the county's highway commissioner wanted them put back in for safety, town residents fought it and still are amid some noise concerns there. In a Target 2 investigation follow-up, Sarah Thompson shows us why the commissioner is putting so much stake in the recommendations in this new report.
The idea of placing rumble strips at intersections across Brown County made a lot of noise last year. Despite that, the highway department installed them at 10 intersections.
There was a lot of people that were nervous about them beforehand, and we've had 0 complaints afterwards. We did make them a little shallower, and I do believe that helped cut down on some of the noise.
And more rumble strips are in the works, but based on suggestions in this 67-page county highway safety plan, many will be placed at center lines and on road shoulders, especially on curves across rural Brown County. The first will come this spring on this series of curves on Highway T north of Denmark.
It jolts you out of it. You know, it's going to be something that's going to wake you up and say, wait a minute, what's going on?
Highway Commissioner Paul Fontecchio says the key to this report, it's independent, compiled by a firm from Minnesota, but conducted entirely based on traffic data and 5 years of crash statistics, not emotion, letting the past predict changes for the future. Fontecchio presented the report to the Traffic Safety Commission this week.
You set up your criteria, and the computer is giving you the recommendations, which again is fascinating because some of the areas that were that came out of this were not on our radar.
Like Highway D near the town of Holland, where it showed a high rate of drivers going off the road. Fontecchio's crews will look for possible upgrades there. More will come on Highway W in the area of a fatal crash in November. Fontecchio has $50,000 budgeted for the year and will install improvements where he can. He hopes rumble strips or new signs, which the report lists as low cost but up to 40% effective at preventing serious crashes, will prove life-saving.
There's a lot to look at, but we'll try our best to prioritize it. We'll build it into the projects we already have scheduled.
We have a link to the report at WBAY.com. Sarah Thompson, Action 2 News, Brown County.